Mike, just first of all on Auburn, again, it appears that Broom will not be playing in this game tomorrow. Are they doing anything? Are they running their offense, doing anything differently without him as opposed to with him in the game? What you're saying?
They were a little bit different the other day. I thought they were fantastic. What a response by those guys with incredible adversity. Arguably the best player in the country. They looked like a really good team. Different, of course. A little bit different offensively, a little bit different defensively, but credit those guys for stepping up. They've still got a really, really good team. They're capable of beating anybody in the country. Obviously, when they have all their pieces, this Auburn team's probably stating the obvious, has a chance to win the whole thing. Offensively, defensively, they're phenomenal. It's a really good team. It's obviously a huge test for us. Great opportunity to have some fun in front of our fans, see if we can do some things well and see where it leads.
Again, you talked about the turnovers and trying to get that under control. What kind of things have you done the last day or so maybe to address that even more, what you already have?
Some of it is personnel, some of it is scheme, some of it is what we're stressing. The defenses we're playing some of the best defenses in the country, of course. We're the best defensive league in college basketball. Some of it is youth. We've just got to collectively do a better job through skill work, through player development, through what we're running and who's got the ball when and where, and our spacing. It's all of us got to do a better job with it. Film work, but we're trying not to make it to where it's paralysis either. You want you guys to play downhill and play with instinct and play with confidence. Didn't do a lot of that the other day in Knoxville. Tennessee had a lot to do with that.
We talked a lot this year about response, after good, after bad. A couple of days removed from Tennessee, what have you thought of your response from your team?
These guys have been great. I'd be shocked if we ever get a different type response from these guys. Pretty sharp today. Not a lot yesterday, of course, after probably guys getting down at 1 or 2 a.m. after that trip. But a lot of film work and a lot of talking and walkthrough and stuff like that. And obviously Auburn, Tennessee, a few other teams in this league grab your attention pretty quickly. So no time to throw a parade if you win a game and no time to sulk if you lose.
When you look at both of the teams in this game, both of them are really good at 8-0 runs, 10-0 runs, 12-0 runs, putting points together very quickly. When it comes to how do you withstand that if Auburn does that, or trying to limit the amount of times they are able?
We got to expect it first and foremost. They're going to make runs. They are. They're just so capable of putting together pick sixes, going the other way, a couple threes in a row, a couple offensive rebound kickbacks, kickouts. They're explosive offensively. They're just as good defensively, which leads to offense, of course. So just expecting it, understanding that it's going to be 40 minutes. We're capable of some of those as well. Number one in the country. They're good at everything. Got to play really, really well, of course.
Let me ask you, with Asa now, it's going to be a stiff SEC game. You're starting to see teams play him a little differently now as y'all move along?
Well, I think first and foremost with him, it's the physicality, the attention to detail with blocking him out, defending him on the interior. Not every third or fourth game as we were seeing with an SEC type guy, in the preseason. Now it's gonna be 18 of those, and not that his numbers will jump off the page from an offensive rebounding standpoint and double in league play. It's just not going to happen, right? But I think at least to a certain extent, he can maintain some of that because of his work ethic, his motor, his mental and physical toughness. It's going to be easier said than done against some of these teams like Auburn, of course, but hopefully he can continue to have success, find a couple offensive rebounds, finish on the interior a little bit, shooting it better. He really, really works at it. He's doing a good job in all other areas too. He's playing within himself. He's an improved defender, just a competitive guy with big-time character.
What has made him so effective, specifically as an offensive rebounder so far this year?
Got a nose for it, and we just keep using that word motor. I hate to beat it up, but that's just who he is. He goes up and he goes to chase it. That's it. He's, when you get really tired, you have a tendency, all of us, especially as young people, to give into a block out. And when he's fresh, it's a little bit easier for him, just like all of these guys. But he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the country because all else being equal, he's going to get it, and he just, generally speaking, is going to fight for every square inch. And he's not 260, He's out muscled, out girthed by some of these guys in this league, but credit his toughness at whatever he is, 220, to fly around and have little regard for his body.
You're talking about Auburn kind of getting on runs, expecting those kind of things. How do you maybe address that so that when it does happen, there isn't any shell shock can happen?
Respond. I mean, that's a word we use a lot. Our guys use it. They use it with each other. We talk about it in timeouts. Expect it, but understand what leads to it too. Separation for some of those shooters, missed blockouts, live ball turnovers. Our guys understand all that. It's just, again, it's easier said than done against one of the best teams in the country.
What's it like to bring Justin Afson off the bench and knowing what you're going to get from him from just a steady play standpoint, the way he passes the ball and for a big man like that?
He's a stud. He's always ready every day, Jay, and every day Dylan. Those guys are just, when their numbers are called, they you know what you're going to get. They're the same guys every day in practice. They're big pieces of what we're building in our culture. And Justin's a little bit different with his ability to really pass it he really passes it. But he's good at some other stuff as well. He's got good defensive instincts. He's trying to improve on stretching the defense a little bit. He's worked at that. But he also can score it on the interior at times with the right matchup.
You guys saw Miles Kelly the last 2 years at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him and how Auburn's using him nowadays?
Auburn does a phenomenal job with their play calling and with their spacing and calling guys' numbers and putting them in the right spots. He's a proven scorer. He's scored a ton. He can shoot it from deep. He can sprint into shots. He really stretches the defense. He puts a lot of pressure on you.
Auburn Bruce Pro has been really complimentary of y'all recently, how far this program's come over the last few years. Do you agree? I guess just kind of what's your reaction to when he talks about how you guys are competing as well in recruiting and all that kind of stuff?
Appreciative. Appreciative. What he's done for this league over the long haul has been really unbelievable. I mean, the impact he's had on the SEC, two different institutions at a high level, is remarkable. And this team in particular, just like the last couple, but maybe even more so, have a chance to win the whole thing. So we're just there's so much good basketball in this league. There's so many good rosters and coaches and programs. And we've gotten better. We're building, of course. We're more competitive. Our focus is on continued growth.
Mike.